Welcome to Tied Down TV, the punk rock opinion show with me, Danny.
And Geoff.
And this week, just over the river there, we've had Bruce Springsteen play a couple of concerts this week, and we decided to do a top 5 stadium rock acts that we really dislike. Now, just to get it out the way, neither me or Geoff dislike Bruce Springsteen.
Definitely not.
No. You're a big fan?
I wouldn't say I was a big fan. I'm a reasonable sized fan. I have a lot of time for the man and a good few of his albums. Yeah.
I'm not an album fan, but I'm a huge fan of the hits.
He's got loads of hits.
Yeah, Born to Run, Thunder Road, Streets of Philadelphia, Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah, I'd say the Born to Run album, Darkness on the Edge of Town album, Nebraska, Born in the USA. All absolute classic and full of loads of those songs that you've just mentioned.
What's your favourite Bruce Springsteen song?
Ooh, Jesus. Honestly, I don't. That's a hard one. Thunder Road is top tier.
You know what mine is?
Go on.
We went down to the river and into the river we.
I liked. There's loads. Adam Raised the Cane off. Darkness on the Edge of Town is one of my favourites, definitely.
Yeah. So we all agree.
Yeah.
That Springsteen is a great stadium rock act.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
But obviously, there's a lot we don't like, and usually if you're into punk rock music, there's a reason you got into punk rock music, and that's because you don't usually like the stadium thing and the middle of the road music that it often involves.
Yeah, 100%.
So, anything you want to add before we kick it underway?
Well, we're including, these are rock bands or stadium rock bands, aren't they? So
no pop idols.
Your Taylor Swifts, etc.
Just touching on that though, you got a problem with Ed Sheeran though, haven't you?
I don't. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What's your problem with Ed Sheeran?
Fucking hell. So, I think his music is the most inoffensive music. It's just boring. It's shit. There's no edge to it at all. I said to you, haven't I, that I feel like he seems like a really nice bloke, don't get me wrong, and people fucking love the guy, so whatever. This is just my opinion, but I don't know, there's just absolutely fucking no edge to it at all. I get nothing from it, and it irritates me a lot. And I just feel like he's the kind of guy that if you said you thought his music was shit, he'd just be like, it's okay, man, it's all cool. And that's a great way to be in a way, but I don't know, do you know what I mean?
You want him to hit
I want him a little bit to just be like, well, fuck you, man, don't listen to it then.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to kick it off then.
Let's go.
I'm going to kick it off, and I'm going to go for a band that I really hate. Actually, I'm going to go for The Killers. You ever had one of them bands that you hear a song, you hate it that much, and maybe a year will go by, you hear another song, and you think to yourself, God, I haven't hated a song this much since that last song, and you go, oh, it's by the same band. And then another song comes along maybe a year later, and you go, God, I hate this. I haven't hated it. Oh, that's by the same band too? Well, that seemed to happen to me with The Killers all the time. Every song I'd hear, big hit, I'd go, God, I hate this. Oh, it's by The Killers. And that just kept happening. And they just seemed to release fucking turkey after turkey after turkey for me. And I just can't stand them. And I tell you something else, you go to any student night, wedding, anything like that, you're hearing them awful fucking songs. And I tell you something else, they're one of them bands that make music for lads who wear shoes like this, and I can't abide by that kind of fucking footwear as well. So I just hate them, and you know the ones I'm talking about. That horrible Mr. Brightside. That are we human or are we dead? Oh, and what's that other one as well? That other awful. Somebody told me you had a fella who looked like a bird, who looked like a duck, who looked like a cat. I can't stand it. It's shite. It's absolute shite. Can't stand them. Worst thing. And that's probably I put them top because I probably hate them the most.
Okay. Yeah, I've got no notes. All agreeance on that one. First one for me, and probably my most hated one, fucking Coldplay. So where do I begin? This band, I had a little rant then about Ed Sheeran. This band is so fucking mediocre and mundane. They're not even mediocre, they're below mediocre, they're subpar. In terms, if we're going to talk relative to the success they've had, they are one of the most overrated, shittest bands to fucking reach that level, in my humble opinion. I get nothing from them except fucking pissed off sometimes when I hear their songs. It's just... do you know what I mean? Like, they're a band that make me fucking... And
easy target, I think.
Very easy target. I don't deny that, but I really fucking hate this band. This is the band when you know everyone's gone to see them because everyone wears the tour t-shirt, don't they? Do you know what I mean? And they're always fucking luminous coloured and shit for Coldplay as well nowadays, aren't they? And he's a prick as well, Chris Martin. And
why is he a prick? I don't know. Why is he a prick?
I just think he's just a bit pompous and a bit smarmy and a bit, yeah, I'm not into the guy. Not into his band. 100% think they're shit.
Okay, so I don't detest them anywhere near as much as you do, but if you're talking about bands of that ilk, I have got one on my list too, and I've gone the band Elbow. Oh God, I hate this band. I mean, you talk about bland, and you talk about non-offensive and all that type of stuff. I mean, sometimes, have you ever hated a band by association?
Yeah.
Right, so in the case of Elbow, I remember about 15 years ago, I was working my old job. I had a boss who, I'd be listening to music and I'd be listening to that. She was horrible. She was one of them horrible bosses, one of them real bitches, do you know what I mean? And she came in once and she said to me, oh, what are you listening to? And I can't remember what I was listening to. And she said, she was on a cigarette break and she was dead pompous, one of them. And she went, oh, me and my husband are going to see Elbow next week. Like that. And I was like, who the fuck is this Elbow? I didn't know who they were, do you know what I mean? But I thought, who would listen? What kind of music would this person, who I'm talking about now, listen to? Okay. So, a couple of weeks later, Glastonbury happened, and they have it on BBC and ITV and all that, you can watch it. Elbow performed, so I thought, I'll have a look what this, right, I swear to God. Boring, bland, I was nearly put to sleep, awful. And also, what I hate about them as well, look at the state of the singer, right? The singer looks like... It suddenly made me realise why my boss would like this band, because he looks like, not the guy who would fire you, he looks like the guy who comes into your work with a folder under his arm and tells your boss to fire you. That's what the singer of this band looks like. And I just... Oh, no. Like, I just can't. He just looks like a fatty IT teacher. I can't be doing with it. Can't be doing with Elbow.
Fair enough. I actually don't mind them, so I'm not going to say anything more on that. So my next one, this is another one I fucking hate, is U2. And I know people are probably going to come at me for this one, because I know people...
No, they're not.
People love this fucking band.
I don't think on a punk show they're going to come at you.
Maybe not. But there are people out there, and punks and that, who I know will say, the first couple of albums, Boy, War and that, they're really good. And I actually... There's a handful of their songs that I will attest to actually fairly enjoying a couple of them. But as a whole, this fucking band, right, they annoyed me for a long, long time. They started to piss me off more and more. The more I got a bit older, I became aware of Bono's fucking just absolute arrogant white saviour nonsense that he goes on, you know what I mean? If you haven't seen or heard the story of him playing in Glasgow when he came out doing that, and he went, every time I click my fingers, a child in Africa dies. And someone in the crowd went, stop clicking your fucking fingers then. That's his whole fucking shtick. That band. Do you remember when they put that album out and it went on everyone's phone through Apple or whatever? If you had an Apple phone, you got this album. Like, you didn't get a choice, it just arrived. And obviously people kicked off, and I saw The Edge on a talk show talking about it. He's like, well, now everyone's going to have to buy it. And I was like, the people who are complaining are fucking people who don't actually want your fucking shitty album anyway, like, It's just shit like that. Piss me the fuck off. I think they're fucking rated so much higher than they deserve. I guarantee that if you weighed their whole discography, they've got, like, so much more fucking cack than they have good.
Yeah.
That's anyway, fuck you too.
Yeah, definitely. My next is fucking Guns N' Roses. Oh, fucking hell. When I was about 16 years old, I was dating a girl, and she asked me to buy her, for her birthday, a bunch of Guns N' Roses albums that she put on her birthday list. And I bought them, and then I had to sit there and listen to them. Oh my God. Like, honestly, I think they're the worst fucking band ever. His voice... like, I just can't be doing that fucking horrible voice.
Axel shuffle.
Oh, yeah, and everything about them. The song, like, it's just literally just fucking fingers down the blackboard. Oh, yeah, and I just want to go up to that Slash's hat and just go poof like that. Honestly, it's just awful. It's just awful shit. And he's a tit, isn't he? Let's be honest.
He's a fucking bellend.
He's a blurt as well.
Yeah.
So, have I got any more to say about Guns N' Roses? The only good thing about Guns N' Roses was that Terminator 2 video where he's walking through the concert or the club. That's it. That's the only thing that's good about them.
Yeah, don't disagree. Okay, pick 3 for me. Kiss. Another fucking band, man. They're not even a band, are they? They're a brand, let's be fair. Now, I've seen a lot of interviews with, like, OG punks who obviously were around in the 70s when punk became a thing.
Kiss?
Before that, like, when they were younger, the band that they got into was Kiss. Now, I assume that's because Kiss was dangerous and parents hated them. I know, indirectly, all that makeup must have influenced the corpse paint in black metal in a certain respect as well, because from Kiss you got King Diamond, etc. But I can't think of any Kiss songs I actually think are good for the start. So how are they this fucking big? And they're just so crass and fucking... It's all about fucking money. Just they've got their name and their fucking logo on every piece of merchandise. Every single piece of merchandise you can think of. Fucking coffins, condoms... Fucking such stupid shit.
Yeah, but like the Misfits and that did that.
Exactly. And if they didn't have fucking belting songs, I'd probably feel the same way.
Fair point.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These to me have got absolute shit music as well.
Yeah.
Absolute garbage. And I'll defend, like, the Misfits that we both love is pre all of that shit anyway. That came after it. But Kiss, they can fuck off, like I said. I like, do you like any of their songs? Can you name me one of their songs that you think's decent?
I don't think I know any of their songs.
There you go. There you fucking go.
That's just me not...
But everyone knows who they are though as well, so it's yeah.
I should know because I love that film, Detroit Rock City. I love that film.
Detroit Rock City.
Yeah.
That's a good film.
And there's loads of their songs in that.
Yeah,
but I just...
No, they're garbage songs. It's a decent film though.
Just to step in, like, whenever we do these negative videos, like... You're definitely more angry than I am. People don't understand. People don't realise. You get really upset and angry and hateful.
About music, I do sometimes, I guess,
Yeah. For me, next, Foo Fighters. So Foo Fighters, big fan of Nirvana, me. Big fan. Obviously, I actually don't mind Dave Grohl. Like, he might have made a few mistakes that have come to light in it. But, like, I read this book and I particularly like the stuff where he's going on about when he was in Scream, talking on about playing a lot of New York hardcore bands back in the day.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's put the hard yards in over the years and all that, but a band like Nirvana come along and they just changed the game completely in the early 90s and that. But Foo Fighters, to me, I just don't understand what that garbage, who it appeals to.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like Learn to Fly and Monkey Wrench and all that crap. It's like who's the target audience here? Because I just don't get. It's not angsty. It's not pissed off. It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's just aimed at middle of the road Kerrang CD buyers. Do you know what I mean? And it just says nothing to me. And in my teen years, they were a band you just couldn't seem to fucking escape from. About 10 of their songs in an hour had come on Kerrang or Scuzz. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, like I say, their songs just didn't, I just don't know who that shit appeals to. The appeals to the fucking girl who works in the shop or your mate's uncle or you know what I mean?
Passive music.
Yeah, it's just doesn't, it's got, like what you were saying about, what were you saying before? It says it's got nothing to it. It's like, it's got, whatever, it's got nothing to it.
Cool. Alright, next one for me. I've picked the Eagles because I fucking hate the Eagles, to quote
what, like the dude?
Yeah. But fuck me, what a shit band. What an overrated... That's fucking Hotel California song. I've never got the appeal of that. Bullshit, rubbish. Desperado can fuck off. Life in the Fast Lane can fuck off. I'm sorry if you're an Eagles fan. I don't...
Hang on a minute. I'm going to step in a minute.
Go on.
What about that song at the end of The Warriors? I was born here in the city. No. I don't think it was the Eagles, but I think it was the singer from the Eagles. That's a fucking good tune.
Okay. But no. I'm not a fan. They just... It's, again, they just... Of that era, they're so held up so high. And I don't get it. Like, so many bands around them were better, and obviously are all held up quite high as well. I just think they're the fucking run to the litter from that period of like middle of the road rock music, boring, drab, just yeah.
My dad likes the Eagles.
Yeah, my dad does as well.
Maybe just like one of them old dad bands.
I like some of the band. Like, my dad got me into music, so some of the stuff he put me onto I love, but fuck the Eagles, man.
Yeah. My last one, I've gone. Now, before I get into this, I said a few weeks ago on one of these negative videos that I think bands like Blink-182, Green Day, even The Offspring, kind of has to exist because the kids need something as a gateway. And I do, you know, and I think as you get older, as you start getting to 40 and up and that, one of the things you like seeing at shows is the younger generation enjoying themselves. Like when you see them fucking loving it and they've discovered something in their eyes, are dead wide like this. And I love that. Like that's something that like as you get older, you really love seeing it. Do you know what I mean? But I've got to pick this band. I've got My Chemical Romance. So the reason I've got My Chemical Romance is I was quite a late appreciator of second wave emo. Being a hardcore fan early on, you know, I'd obviously heard Rite of Spring, Embrace, but to me that was just like melodic hardcore back then, melodic hardcore punk, do you know what I mean? I didn't really see it as emo. I know it gets called first wave emo. But the only other stuff I'd really been exposed to in my early 20s was the likes of your Fall Out Boys, your Panic at the Discos, fucking My Chemical Romance, right? And you hear them fucking songs, the fucking what's that one, Geoff? That one. I'm not okay, I'm okay, but then I'm not okay, and then I am okay, and then I'm not okay, all that. And then, you know, so that's when I was like 22, like 2004, 5, you know, that's the shit I'm hearing and what people are calling emo. It wasn't until I was coming home from a gig we played in London, I've told this story before, that Mike, our drummer, said in the car on the way home, look, I'm not putting anything heavy on, we've been out all day and night playing this gig, I'm putting something chill on, and he put the first American Football album on, and I'd never heard it before, and I made him replay it like 3 times, because I loved it that much. I was like, what is this, Mike? He's like, it's a band called American Football, this would have been like when I was in my early 20s, and he was like, he said to me, if you really like this stuff, go and check out these bands. And he told me Cap and Jazz, Sunny Day Real Estate, The Promise Ring, all these bands. And suddenly my eyes were open to something that I felt I'd really missed out on. And I'd missed out on that stuff because the only thing that I knew as emo when I was around 21, 22 was the likes of fucking My Chemical Romance, who had these horrendous radio rock songs on. And this is when we're talking about the tight fucking clothes and the stupid hair and all that stuff. Has nothing to do with emo as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, I've got to shoot them down for that reason. What do you think about that?
I can't disagree. I'm not a fan of the band.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea, really. I don't hate them that much, but I understand exactly what you're saying because they were everybody, and even now when people say emo, that's what they think.
Well, this is the thing, right? I think they're one of them bands as well. Think if say my 14-year-old niece came up to me and was like, "Oh, Uncle Dan, I've got into this band. I've been great. Listen to it, you know." I'd fully
check this out as well.
I wouldn't even do that. I'd let her be. You know what I mean? I'd be like, you know, listen to it, and then maybe when the time was right, say, "Oh, you know, if you like this and all this stuff." So I do think it's good for all that stuff, but I just think we know people our age who still refer to that stuff as like the pinnacle of emo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
And that's my issue with that shit.
Fair. Alright, last pick for me. Led Zeppelin. Another band who just fucking dinosaurs, man. I take issue one because I think they're very overrated. Highly overrated band anyway. They're all talented, they can all fucking play the shit out of their instruments and all that shit. I get really annoyed as well when they get brought into the conversation as being the originators of one of the originators of heavy metal. Fucking not. I know heavy blues and heavy rock obviously led into heavy metal. It's all you know, proto, whatever you want to call it, all leads the way. They're not in that conversation like Black Sabbath are. Even Deep Purple deserve to be in it closer than the fucking Led Zeppelin do for me. The fucking songs can go on for fucking ages as well. again, I just don't think they've got that many. Even really, there's a couple of songs where I go, yeah, it's fair dues, like that's a decent tune. But generally speaking, I think it's fucking boring. And again, heavy blues inspired rock. I am a fan of a lot of that stuff. I've just never really been massively got the Zeppelin thing, and as I've gotten older, they just piss me off more and more, I think.
I've never, I don't hate them like you do, but I've tried to get into them and I can't. They were not, you know what they are to me? They were nothing. They're just a non-entity.
Yeah,
They're
fair
just,
enough.
You know what I mean? I can't relate to it. It's not from this planet as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah. Cool. So there's our picks. I'm sure you come and tell us your 5 in the comments and tell us if we've slacked off any you like. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Instagram, Facebook us for messages and follows and all that stuff. And we'll see you next week.